Hey, we're back. All right, have a seat, relax. It's a good day. My name is Bill Jordan. I do candid video interviews. Welcome to, what we do here. This is Bill's 411. We talk about stuff. We've been looking at Sun Tzu's book, The Art of War and the Art of Marketing by Gary Gagliotti. And we're on the first chapter analysis. We just mentioned, we talked about the first thing you have to have is a global mission. And as an artist, it's the same thing. Excuse me. That you have to have a story when you're telling when you're making your work. And that story, in my opinion, is just not one chapter. You have, that's why you have a collection. You have 13, 14, whatever pieces you have to tell your story in different chapters, because you are not just a one-dimensional person. You see, you are multifaceted, and you need more space. Like in the musicians, the Bachs and the Beethovens, they have movements, and the movements express different types of feelings, that a person could have throughout the story. Similarly with your art. All right, so you want to have a mission or a story, because the story is what carries you through. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get on to the next part here. We're talking about market trends. It says, next are the market trends. Markets can change from good to bad. They can shift from cold to hot. The trends in every market change with time. All right, so now trends change. Now let's talk about trends in terms of artists. What's a trend? Well, we have realism, we have cubism, we have impressionism, all the isms you got, right? Abstract stuff, whatever you want. Those are your trends, right? So now, for a while, the traditional guys were out. The representational guys were out. They're making a comeback, and here's the thing. We spoke earlier in the first or second post about competition. And these two concepts, let's say the traditionalist and the modern stuff, traditional meaning representationalism, the way it was back in the Renaissance days when men were men, and that's the only way you could do it, you see, and nothing wrong with that. Then it came in the nouveau stuff, like Picasso was trained in the traditional style. He made a shift. Why? To survive, he had to get away from representationalism because the camera came in. How could they compete with the camera, right? So he did what he did, and other people followed in his footsteps, and the Impressionists and stuff like that. Now we have, lots of modernism and whatever you want to call it. And we have different camps, different points of views. And these views, one camp, a lot of representational guys don't like so-called modern work because it's seen as just like a child could do it. Maybe in some cases that's true, I don't know. But the real abstract guys, they're really talented. But, that's another story. The point is, those are the different, trends that are trending today. And fortunately, you can fit in anywhere you want. So trends, as they say, can go from, hot to cold, they can shift. Now, but the thing is, the next segment we're going to get into, it'll be, your segment, because your trend segment, your marketing segment is another thing. That's where you come in. You're a segment within the trend. Okay, you can be a segment, leader within the trend, because the way you do representational is different from someone else, and how you do representational, if you're doing it wisely, will go back to the purpose of what marketing is about, and that's in terms of having a first principle, a mission, or a story. In your case, as an artist, so your story has to reflect your mission. So if you're on your job and you're in your segment and you're producing representation of work from the standpoint that it's going towards your overall mission, which is to raise the consciousness of whatever you think your mission is, it says it has to be global. So it has to be, think about it. It's not just for your own edification that you do these things. It has to be for a global purpose. Right? So now if you're global with your work, that takes you higher up, right? But you're in your segment. There's a trend, you're representational or you're abstract or you're whatever you want to call yourself. But you're pioneering that particular aspect within a segment of the trend. Okay, so let's think about that. We'll be back in a second with some other stuff. Right? My name is Bill Jordan. I'm at 201-790-3368. Peace out.